Hello, and welcome to the Senior Financial Safety Tool Training, a project of the Center for Elder Law and Justice. The Senior Financial Safety Tool project is supported through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, and Office for Victims of Crime. The opinions, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this project are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official position or policies of the U.S. Department of Justice. My name is Erin Riker, and I am the technology-based legal services attorney here at the Center for Elder Law and Justice.
And my name is Melissa Woods, and I am the project coordinator for the Senior Financial Safety Tool.
The Senior Financial Safety Tool is a web-based tool that empowers partner organizations that work with seniors or older adults themselves to detect risks of financial exploitation. When these risks are detected, the older adults are connected with resources, including referrals for legal assistance wherever appropriate, in order to handle the financial exploitation that may be going on in their lives. There are several project partners that work together to make the Senior Financial Safety Tool a reality. They include the Center for Elder Law and Justice, Pro Bono Net, Niata Logic, Lakeshore Savings Bank, and the Erie County Adult Protective Services.
Financial exploitation is the most common type of elder abuse in the United States. Since 2013, financial institutions have reported over 180,000 suspicious activity reports targeting older adults, involving a total of more than $6 billion. Although these reports are being filed, action is not always being taken when this activity is detected. Older adults in rural areas may be at higher risk and have limited access to resources and community partners. One important thing to know is that 55% of financial abuse in the United States is committed by family members, caregivers, and friends. In other words, someone who knows the victim. So our goals for the Senior Financial Safety Tool collaboration are that we can train professionals in the community on financial exploitation and provide updates regarding new scams or rules related to financial exploitation of older adults. We want to empower our agency partners to make referrals to our office so that we can provide advocacy services for our clients. We also want to connect seniors with person-centered services while in-person meetings may not be possible. We understand that due to COVID-19, that people may be less hesitant to come into their financial institution or into an agency seeking help. And we want to make sure that we're able to connect seniors with the appropriate level of service. And also we want to make sure that our partners and users of the Senior Financial Safety Tool provide feedback so that we can refine and improve the tool overall.
Let's talk a little bit about how the Senior Financial Safety Tool works. When directed to the website for the Senior Financial Safety Tool, you will see some links explaining what financial exploitation is and some links about the app in general. You should use the application if you're an older adult who's concerned about your financial safety, or you're a bank employee or other community partner concerned that a client may be at risk for financial exploitation. Importantly, the app only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to go through, so it's very quick to run one of your customers or to run yourself through the self-assessment. The app may offer to connect someone with a legal professional from Center for Elder Law and Justice, which serves the Western New York area. And the potential risks identified by this app do not necessarily mean that exploitation has been taken place, only that the exploitation is possible in a senior's life. Step one for the partnering with the Senior Financial Safety Tool is training. We want to train agency partners on financial exploitation, including scams and other forms of financial abuse, exploitation involving a power of attorney, which is one of the most common forms of exploitation committed by family members or friends or caregivers. We also want to introduce our partner agencies to the Senior Financial Safety Tool itself. We want to make sure that they know when they are using this with an older adult to be conversational, that the information is kept confidential, and that they do not cause alarm. That's why it's very important to note that just because a risk may be detected, it does not mean that financial exploitation has already occurred. It just means that there is a risk that exploitation might happen to this older adult. We also want our partners to stress that a referral can be sent to a trusted partner, but that the senior has the ultimate choice as to whether or not to accept help from these partner agencies, which would include the Center for Elder Law and Justice or another agency that may be able to help them ameliorate the risks of financial abuse.
We will be going through the tool in a little bit, but the actual interview covers 4 parts. Part 1, you are providing an age range, an account status, and activity. What we want to know is that the approximate age of the person that is being screened, their account status. Do they have an individual account or a joint bank account? And are they monitoring the activity on that bank account? Part 2 is our power of attorney inquiry. As Erin said, it is a powerful tool and is used in cases of financial exploitation. We want to ask a few additional follow-up questions if somebody does have a power of attorney in place to make sure that they've been provided best practices information. Part 3, there is a checklist if somebody's been receiving information about unwanted solicitations and scams, and to see if they may need assistance with those issues. In part 4, we do ask about contact with family and friends, how often somebody is in touch with their family and friends, so that we can provide additional supports and referral information as needed. All in all, this should take between 3 to 5 minutes. The tool does use branch logic. So when you select an answer, additional questions may populate based on your response. So for example, if somebody has a power of attorney in place, these following questions will populate. Is the customer's power of attorney currently managing or assisting with the finances? How long have they known their agent? Has the person with the customer's power of attorney changed in the last year? And did they meet with an attorney to explain what a power of attorney is? If someone were to select no, those follow-up questions would not be relevant and they would also not appear.
Step 3 in using the tool is generating a report and follow-up. Either the client of a partner agency or the user, if an older adult is using the self-assessment, can elect to have a report sent to the Center for Elder Law and Justice for follow-up. This is the choice of the older adult itself. And right now, it's important to make a disclaimer that the Senior Financial Safety Tool itself does not provide legal advice, and its use does not form an attorney-client relationship between any parties. It just generates the potential for a referral if it's necessary and if the senior wants it. The Center for Elder Law and Justice will follow up within 1 business day if we receive a report and referral for additional services. Appropriate handling of a report of financial exploitation risk may include full representation. It may include brief advice and counsel to the older adult, or at the bare minimum, it may include an assisted referral to another agency that may be better suited to help the older adult with the issue identified by the Senior Financial Safety Tool. Consumer rights and referral information will also be provided to everyone who has gone through the screening process, regardless of whether they are recommended for a referral to another agency. As we said, CELJ follow-up is not required, but it is highly recommended that a senior who may be at risk of financial exploitation be referred for additional support. The screen that you're seeing right now is the findings and follow-up screen from the Senior Financial Safety Tool. This screen asks if your customer is also a customer of one of our partners, Lakeshore Savings Bank, and most importantly, It asks if they want an offer of help. Would your customer or client like a representative from the Center for Elder Law and Justice to contact them? If yes, then the Center for Elder Law and Justice will contact the customer for free of charge. And if no, then no further information about the customer would be provided to the Center for Elder Law and Justice. The contact information at the bottom of the screen is provided so that CELJ can contact the older adult if they want it. Again, that is a decision of the older adult as to whether or not they would like help, but we highly recommend that if the Senior Financial Safety Tool recommends a referral, that senior accept the referral and speak with someone from the Center for Elder Law and Justice for further assistance. The next screen that you will see in the report shows the recommendations and conclusions based on your client or based on yourself if you are an older adult taking the self-assessment. It's an overview of your inputs. It's a recommendation as to whether or not you should speak to someone from the CELJ team about your situation. And it also allows you to download the report. You can download it either in Word format or in Acrobat PDF format. We recommend that people review the report closely and continue at the end for a brief survey regarding the application so that we can continue to make improvements and changes to make it more friendly for all of our users. This next screen is just a continuation of the overview of the inputs and conclusions. As you can see, it gives an overview based on the boxes that either you checked for the older adult or that the older adult provided themselves if using the self-assessment. For example, this adult stated that no one else has access to his money and no one has made any suspicious requests regarding money, but that the power of attorney has changed in the past year and contact with family and friends is only weekly. And also that no one is reviewing the financial statements, but there is a power of attorney in place. These have caution signs next to them because they might be indicators of financial exploitation. Again, they do not mean that exploitation has occurred. They just mean that this person might be more at risk. The notes section contains information tailored to the customer's specific information and what they can do to lessen or eliminate their risk of financial exploitation. This gives them some recommendations of actions they can take on their own, whether or not they accept the referral to Center for Elder Law and Justice. In this case, the tool is recommending that this person check their financial accounts regularly, and that if they are isolated or lonely, there are some things they can do to reach out and make new friends, find new hobbies and interests, and reach out to family and friends for continued support. The suggested resources includes contact information for organizations that may be helpful to the customer to either avoid financial exploitation or to address financial exploitation that might be occurring. The Center for Elder Law and Justice's contact information is listed here. Since this customer had some caution indicators, it's suggested that they contact the Center for Elder Law and Justice for further assistance.
So at this time, we're going to go through the app so you can see how it works. But also, if you do have any questions specifically related to the Senior Financial Safety Tool, we do have a dedicated phone line and extension. And we also have an email address. So please feel free to contact us if you have any further questions or would like additional training. Once you're able to access the Senior Financial Safety Tool, we do encourage that you take it for a test run so that you can share it with other folks, but also you can kind of see its functionality. So if you're going to be running a session for a potential client or customer, or you're recommending the self-assessment, you'll want to make sure here on the bottom of the screen that you are selecting session. There is a test function which I will be going through today. So I am going to begin the risk assessment. And again, as Erin mentioned, this tool will assess if you or someone you know is at risk of financial exploitation. The report generated is for informational purposes only, and the information contained is not necessarily applicable to your specific issue. We do like to include as much referral information and consumer rights information as possible, so that if something does come up in the future, you will have that information available. So I'm going to run through this as if I'm taking the self-assessment version. So I will be conducting the assessment for myself. So this is part one of the interview, and it's going to ask some very basic information. So it's going to ask for your age and a range of ages, and also what kind of bank account do you have? Is it shared by 2 or more people? Or is it an individual bank account, or if they do not have one at the time? We are asking if the last time somebody reviewed their monthly bank statement. Again, if somebody doesn't have access to their bank statements, they might not recognize that there has been nefarious activity unless they're checking that. So I've selected, more than 2 months ago. There has been something on my bank statement that maybe I didn't recognize. If you select that somebody else reviews your bank statements for you, another series of questions will populate, and you can always add someone else. But again, if you selected no, that wouldn't populate. And does anybody have access to your money who is not listed on your bank account? If you're having that conversation with the person in front of you, if you're taking the assessment on your own behalf, does anybody else have access to your money? Meaning, do they have your debit card? Do they have access to your checks? Just do they maybe have they enrolled in internet banking and they're using your bill pay? Again, anyone can always select they're not sure if they don't know. Part 2 covers the power of attorney. And if you do have a power of attorney in place, as we saw previously, additional questions will populate. I'm going to select no, and then no further questions are needed. Now, this is very important because this happens to all of us, and a lot of these statements are prevalent, especially in terms of isolation and people who've been the victims of financial exploitation. So we're asking that in the last 6 months, has anybody asked someone to do the following? Give their personal or financial information over the phone. Send money to an unknown party, maybe someone that you've met on the internet, maybe someone that provided you with an email solicitation, made a payment to collect prize winnings. Maybe you've received a call, or one of your customers has received a call to pay taxes or to pay for a prize up front. Has anyone asked someone to sign a document that they do not understand, or give, ATM, debit card, or credit card information, expiration date, and the 3-digit code on the back over the phone? Or maybe you've not been solicited. One of your customers are confident in their ability to spot the scam, but they've maybe been asked or pressured to make a financial decision that made him or her feel nervous. And the last piece is, how often do you have contact with family and friends? Again, we're not saying that somebody has to talk to their family every day or 2 to 4 times a week, but if somebody is completely isolated and maybe they're in a rural community and they can't get visitors, or the weather's bad, or due to the pandemic, we do provide information within the Know Your Rights for activities or other resources if seniors are wishing to engage in the community. So again, there may be some signs that there is a risk of financial exploitation. And then we're going to click to see the steps. Again, Lakeshore Savings Bank is one of our partners, helped us develop the tool. They can use it with their customers. They were piloting the program, but I'm not a customer of the bank. And I would like to show you that if you do say yes and you want Celj to contact you for assistance, we're getting very limited information. We are not collecting additional demographic information from your customers, your clients. You know, if you're taking recommending it as a self-assessment, we're following up within 1 business day, but we're not collecting all that information until we have a conversation with the client to see what kind of assistance they would like. And then the report is generated, and it is very basic. I would like to go down, and based on the inputs that I put in, everything is different. So I selected that I didn't have a power of attorney. So it does give best practice tips. So maybe I wasn't aware that I needed one or didn't understand, you know, what a principal was or an agent was. We wanted to create some language that your customer, your client, and anyone taking the self-assessment will just have a little bit of information about what some of these items mean. And suggested resources. Again, we are not saying that everyone has to be referred to our office, but we do put our information on there, especially if anybody has any concerns about their financial health and safety. A lot of people don't realize that we can provide advocacy services, that a referral to our office doesn't mean that we're taking court action or that we have to appear in court or that somebody has received, you know, a notice in our official looking document. We can provide advocacy services and resources to make sure that somebody feels confident in their ability to protect their finances. And again, at the end, there's a very brief survey. We do encourage people to always take these surveys and enter any comments. As we refine the tool, we do use these comments and review them with our partners to make any changes that may benefit users. And that's the end of the Senior Financial Safety Tool. Again, please feel free to take the tool for a test run, to go through it, to kind of familiarize yourself. Again, we don't want to cause alarm. So we're asking very basic questions of seniors, you know, making it conversational, you know, just kind of a very brief, quick checkup of their financial health. Are they looking at their bank statements? Do they have any questions about, you know, a current power of attorney in place, or maybe they want information about how to obtain a power of attorney? Have they been solicited for any of those scams? You know, as technology improves and advances, people are being victimized regularly. So we want to make sure that we're able to provide some rights information. And again, we're providing information if somebody wants some additional community support, and we're making those referrals if they would like a little bit of additional contact with members of the community. Again, my name is Melissa Woods, Project Coordinator for the Senior Financial Safety Tool, and I would like to thank Erin, also our technology attorney, for being on the training today. And if you have any questions, please reach out to our office. We would love to train your staff or answer any questions that you may have about the tool.